everyone, welcome back to Fashion Upward. I am Teressa. Thank you so much for being here. You can look at me as your fashion mentor, where I speak about all things faith, fashion, and a lifestyle. I want to start off by just asking, how's everybody doing? Please let me know, honestly, how are you doing? How are you coping with life? I hope and I pray that everyone is doing well. I want to share a bit of encouragement with anyone who is watching, who may be in a pivotal moment in your life and you may be questioning or wondering, like, how is this going to work out? You may have found yourself in the same position that you were in a few years ago. But I want to encourage you to not give up and don't overthink the process. Some things you just have to go through and press through in life. So I want to encourage you to do that. So the reason why you clicked on the video is probably because of the title, How to Break into the Fashion Industry. So I thought that this would be helpful advice to share for anyone who is considering, I want to say traditional path, but what's so traditional now? So many things have changed in this day and era. So, hey, let's just jump into it, and I'll share with you just a few things that I have learned along the way that has helped me in the journey. And when I was in the fashion industry, I still consider myself, I may not be like in the thick of it as I was, but I'm always just so drawn to it because it is a passion of mine. It's a passion of mine to work with those to help, understand and really like bring in those gifts, talents, and abilities that are on the inside and bringing them out and shining that light. So any information that I have about things that I've learned, I do want to pass that forward. So one of the first things that I would encourage you to be able to do is to research. First of all, what is something that you are most passionate about? I will share some good news with you today. Today I'm filming this on my mom's birthday, so it's July the 23rd. So that is some good news that I want to share with you. July the 23rd is my mom's birthday, so if you're watching, happy birthday, Mom. I know that it's days off, but I'm going to talk to her a little later. So happy birthday and shout out to all of my July babies. My birthday is next Monday, so shout out to everyone that's celebrating a birthday, especially in the month of July. I'm kind of biased. Anyway, all right, so breaking into the fashion industry, there are key things that you need to know. First and foremost, you want to surround yourself in the industry. Like if you were in college, try working in fashion retail. I'm coming in clear. I needed to readjust my camera, so I don't know where I left off at. But breaking into the fashion industry, so the key things that you need to know is surrounding yourself in the industry. So if you were in college, try working in the fashion retail industry. I'll never forget when I was in undergrad school, I didn't start off working in fashion. Like I was kind of like behind the scenes. So on campus, everyone knew me as, they used to refer to me as Erica Badu because and sometimes NDIRE, I would cut my clothes. I would sew, hot glue them back together because I had an impatience. I'm like, I don't have any time for that. I do not have time to be sewing. I need to have an outfit for tonight, so I'm going to rip this shirt into shreds and I'm going to turn it into something different. So that's what I did. I had this whole ideology that, I would appear on the scene, like I worked in fast food, for my day job. And then like when nighttime came and I was out and about, I was like this completely different person. But I had a friend at the time, and he encouraged me. He said, you're really interested in, passionate about fashion, as I see that you are. He said, you really should try to apply and surround yourself with like-minded people. Like, try working at like a retail store. If I tell you, like, even to this day, I am still so grateful for him saying that to me, because that was the best advice that anyone had given me, like, at that time. Surround yourself in the environment. So the same advice that he gave me, I am sharing it on to you. I'm sharing it with you. Surround yourself in the industry. Yes, things are different, but it's nothing like, to me, still to this day, fashion is hands-on. Yes, we have a lot of resources online, but it is a hands-on career. It's a hands-on industry. You want to be able to feel the fabric, experience it, be in the showrooms, be behind the scenes at fashion shows, help with dressing the models, and just being in that world. It is so exciting. There's nothing else like it. So the first advice that I will give you is try to place yourself in that environment. If you're working at an office job now, and like that is your bread and butter, try to see if you can do something on the weekends or spare time. Even you can volunteer for a clothes closet or for a boutique. Hey, is there any chance that you can go to the boutique owner? Hey, is there any chance that you guys are looking for any help on the weekends? I can unpack shipment for you. I can steam clothes for you. So anything along those lines would help you just kind of be in the center of it. You will be surprised of how much you can learn just by being in the environment. All right, so the second piece of advice that I'd like to share with you is to do internships. Now, if you are in fashion school now, or you're thinking about going into fashion school, or if you're even online doing it, then you can still do internships. But please make sure that your internship involves you being out and about and not behind your computer screen, because it really can become taxing. Like I said, fashion industry is an adventurous place. It is so fun and it's so exciting. So you want to be out and about in the field. So get out and try to see about finding an internship. I know if you're in a major city, then it's going to be more flexible for you, as opposed if you were in a rural area that wasn't so had a lot of exposure to the fashion industry. But there's all kinds of ways that you can still involve yourself by getting out and about. Okay, so an internship, if you are in college, send emails to the prospective companies that you can see yourself working in or being a part of. When I went to fashion school in California, I had an internship, and by the way, I was working in the retail industry. I was assistant manager at a retail store in California, in Long Beach on Pacific Coast Highway. So shout out to anybody that went to Brooks College during that time in 2006, 2007. Yes, we were in there. It was an exciting time. So I interned in Los Angeles, and I interned for Trunk Limited. And so I did a lot of back-end work with pulling samples for celebrity clientele. So I did a lot of that, cleaning up, organizing. I love to do stuff like that. But it wasn't the most exciting, but I learned a lot, and I was in the midst, learning, like absorbing so much information. After the end of my internship, my advisor at the time, you had to give feedback, like, would you hire this person? And, unfortunately, there were no jobs available. But one of the suggestions that the rep said to my advisor was, a piece of advice that I would give for Teressa is to be more outspoken. Take initiative, take authority. Don't just wait for someone to tell you what to do. Jump in there and get started. And so that's the advice that I want to share with you. If the person that's overseeing you, say you land the internship job, right? And mine was more focused in the PR, public relations area. So don't just wait for that person that is, directing and leading you to tell you what to do. Go ahead and start an initiative. If you see a pile of clothes just laying there, pick the clothes up, hang the clothes up, do something. Always consistently stay busy. And then, if you report and they say, okay, I need you to do A, B, C. Okay, you do that very quickly, promptly, A, B, and C. Find you something else to do. Let them come looking for you busy. Finding yourself immersed and busy. If they don't have anything else for you to do, go to another station. Hey, is there anything that I can help you with? So that is a piece of advice that I would like to share with you. And don't stop with the first no. Or, if you don't hear anything back, still keep pushing. Especially if it's a dream internship. Keep pushing. Okay, don't let that stop you because they say, oh, we don't have, space. Okay, well, maybe in the next season, try back again. But don't just sweep it under the rug and put it so far behind you. Still keep trying and send those emails out. Now you have ChatGPT that can help you draft an email to potential internships that you would be interested in. And of course, if you have any additional information or any questions that you would like to ask me, you can email me, and my information is below in the description box, and I list all of the emails and how to get in contact with me, and I'll be more than happy to answer any of those questions that you may have. Alright, so moving on to, I think I spoke about if you're not in a major city, you can still build where you are. One of the key things also is volunteering for boutiques or for homeless shelter, women's shelters, anything of that nature. Like if you have clothes to donate, like, hey, how can I come in and help these women? Some of them may be getting back on their feet, like a recovery kind of program, and you can reach out. Hey, is there any way that I can be of assistance or be of help? I'm passionate about working with women and helping them rebuild their lives from the inside out, and you can use your expertise for dressing or styling or working with the ladies. So use your gift that God is giving you by being a help for these facilities and for these places that may need your expertise and may need your help. Okay, don't just put it so far out of your mind like, oh, they don't need it. No, just try. You will be surprised. Okay, so I'm looking over my notes. In my fashion ebook, I share with you a wealth of knowledge, and they're like bullet points of things that I have learned in really like my journey, in this fashion retail industry. And so if you would be interested in checking out my ebook, that is available on inheritance111.com. I want to share with you or leave with you one of the most memorable moments for me. And I'm getting so emotional. But one of the most memorable moments for me was when I worked interned. It wasn't an intern. I can't remember how it transpired or unfolded, but I did the Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week. And I don't know if Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week is like a huge thing anymore, but back in 2006, it was banging, okay? It was everything. If you were on the scene of Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week, you could equivalent it to New York Fashion Week, okay? You were in there. And I got the opportunity to be a dresser for Joseph Dominguez and Deborah Lindquist. and I was working backstage, and I remember like crying tears of joy because I said, this is a dream come true. It was a dream come true, and I couldn't believe that I was in the midst of that environment. And that's what your passion does. Like you are just so excited, and I was just soaking it all in. You know, we had our little Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week t-shirts. I still got my shirt to this day. And we were backstage, and we were dressing the models as they went out, and it was such an adrenaline rush. And then at the end, you know, the designers came backstage, thank everybody, wrap everything up. But it was just a landscape of beauty. Like, you got to see everything come together. And that to me was so exhilarating, and I want you to be able to experience that. Yes, we're in the year 2025, and with me that you can count on it always coming back around again, but maybe in a different way. Alright, you guys, so I will leave you with that. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for tuning in. Hopefully you've learned something that was of value to you and that you can use. Again, if you need me to answer any questions for you on how to get started in the fashion industry where you are, then please be sure to reach out to me via email. Alright, you guys, I love you, and thank you so much for liking, subscribing, and sharing. Until next time, y'all, God willing, y'all take it easy.